If you can't be cool, you can't be with the baker.
So today I'm going to be making a pumpkin pie, and I don't really make pies often. I think this is like the third pie I've ever made, but I'm excited. Let's see how this comes out. Okay, so how about we start on those dry ingredients? So in my mixing bowl, I'm going to add
2 cups of flour, 1/4 cup of cane sugar, and you can also substitute it for brown sugar. 2 tablespoons of flax seeds, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Okay, and just using my hands, I'm going to mix all of my ingredients in together and continue by adding my wet ingredients. So I'm going to add 1/2 cup of vegan butter. And I just cut off little squares and I'm just gonna incorporate it with my flour. So just try to crumble it up. Try to get it in good with your flour. And lastly, I'm going to add 1/2 cup of plant-based milk. Okay, and lastly, you're just going to mix it until you end up with your pie crust. Okay, so my pie crust is done and I'm just going to knead it in my mixing bowl just a little bit just to get those air bubbles out. And then I'm going to transfer it to my work surface where I'm going to wrap it in plastic and refrigerate it for an hour just so it can stiff up and it's not so soft.
Wow, I'm actually really happy with the way the crust came out.
Okay, so it has been an hour and I'm just gonna roll out my pie crust and I'm just gonna roll it out to the size that I want. I'm using a cake sheet, so I'm just gonna roll it out as big, just enough so it covers the cake sheet, and I'm going to add it to my cake sheet and, just do, what you do with when you make a pie, just mold it onto your sheet and just like this. And I'm just going to cut off the edges, just the remainder of my pie crust. And I'm going to bake this for 7 minutes at 425 degrees. For my pie filling, in my measuring cup, I'm going to add 1/4 cup of maple syrup and 3 tablespoons of arrowroot. You can also use cornstarch. And I'm just gonna go ahead and mix that in until everything is incorporated. Okay, so now in my mixing bowl, I'm gonna add 2 1/4 cups of pumpkin puree, 1/2 cup of cane sugar, 1/4 cup of full fat coconut cream, 1 tablespoon of vegan butter, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. Okay, and I'm just gonna mix that in, and I'm also gonna add in my maple syrup and arrowroot combination that I made earlier. So I'm just gonna incorporate it to my other ingredients and mix it in really well until you end up with your smooth pumpkin filling.
That filling is so good. Wow, I'm so happy I made pumpkin pie. I almost made a pineapple pie, but I've had a can of pumpkin since Thanksgiving, so I decided I was gonna use it.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and add in my pumpkin pie filling to my pie crust.
Wow. So I was gonna make a lattice on top of my pie, but I didn't have enough of my pie crust. So instead I'm just gonna make, a little random design on top of it.
Okie dokie, here's my pie, and I'm going to bake this at 350 degrees for 45 minutes.
Ooh, this pie looks so good and it smells delicious. I cannot wait to try it.
45 minutes, and here is my delicious vegan pumpkin pie. Look at how good that looks. I wish you could smell it. It smells so good.
Amazing. I'm so proud. This pie came out really good. Okay, so for my outfit of the day today, while I bake, I'll be wearing this really cool Champion hoodie that I got at the Goodwill bins. You can see they did cut off the little, I don't know what they're called, but these, you know, these on shirts, they cut them off. I like it, but I still like it. It's kind of cropped on the sleeves, which I find really cool. But as you can see, it's a pretty cool hoodie. I'm also wearing my APC light blue jeans that I really like. You can see, they're really cool jeans. They have this really cool pink stitching on the bottom. And I actually got these at Nordstrom. These were about $200, but they're really comfy jeans. I've had them for about 2 years now. And then I'm wearing my checkered Vans and my orange Carhartt hoodie. And that is my outfit for today, the outfit I'll be baking in. I'm also making some delicious vegan biscuits. This will be the second time I use this recipe. And let me tell you, it's one of the best recipes I've ever used for biscuits.
Okay, so I'm first gonna start by adding half cup of plant-based milk to my measuring cup and half tablespoon of vinegar. Okay, and I'm just gonna go ahead and mix that in and set it aside until I'm ready to use it.
So how about we start on those dry ingredients?
In my mixing bowl, I'm going to add 2 cups of flour, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, half teaspoon of baking soda, half teaspoon of salt. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and mix that in with my hands until everything is well incorporated. Okay, so I'm going to continue by adding half cup of vegan butter. And I'm just gonna cut it off in squares and incorporate it using my hands with my dry ingredients. Just get it in there good.
You know, like I said, this is the second time I'll be using this recipe for the biscuits, but it's so good and they come out so flaky. Perfect, like the perfect biscuit.
Okay, and I'm just gonna go ahead and add in my wet ingredients to my dry ingredients until I end up with my biscuit dough. Okay, and I'm just gonna go ahead and knead my dough until just to get those air bubbles out. And I'm just gonna knead it and roll it out and start cutting out my biscuits. Okay, so here are my biscuits, and I'm going to brush these with some of my plant-based milk and butter. I just mixed them in together and put it in the microwave. And I'm just gonna bake these at 15 minutes at 425 degrees.
They look good. I cannot wait to try one.
Okay, so it's been 45 minutes and my biscuits are ready to come out of the oven. So let's look at them. Look at how amazing they look. Perfectly golden brown. They smell really good. I'm so excited to try these.
Just like I predicted, these are amazing. They smell and taste so good. Ooh, doesn't this look delicious with my vegan chicken, my mashed potatoes, my corn? I'm so excited to try this. Wow, everything was so good. The pie, the biscuits. Everyone, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you want to see more like it, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Until next time.
Smile without your eyes. Raise your eyebrows. Stop smiling. That's your model face.